on philanthropic capital, we have a challenge in the Bongo program, and that is the diseases. The diseases take a long time on the research of what happens to the diseases and what it is. Some time back, about 7 years ago, we had almost 25% of our bongos wiped by the tick-borne disease. And you can imagine when you see these animals, the only cause you are receiving, such and such bongo has died, the other one has died, then you're asking yourself, and you have no way to stop it. It's a disease, you don't know what it is. So I would use much more of either there was philanthropic capital on research on diseases. The other thing that I would use is, as you have seen, the oryx took 50 years for introduction. I would want to try and see this program will take a shorter time. And one of the things that we are trying to use is in vitro, where we can be able to breed the bongos with the eland as a surrogate. And with that, they are 99.9% genetic makeup of the same. So that is one of the parts that we are trying to see how we can be able to use that. Then the other one that is of very much help is the AI technology, as you have seen on the back here. It has helped us to monitor even the predators, like the leopards, like the hyenas, which really, the hunting of the hyenas is a park, and it's very difficult for any of the bongos to escape that. But that is what I will use it. So those three areas where I see philanthropic capital, it can play a significant part, AI, and also research on diseases. I am a firm believer in education because it's one of the differentiators in the world when a person is an educated person. We are lucky, we receive about 30,000 school-going children into our conservancy from every part of the country. These are children aged between 5 and 12 years, and this is the most important part of these kids, because at that age, they absorb anything that you tell them and whatever. And when they come to the conservancy, they see the impact of the human wildlife at first hand. They can see a three-legged leopard. They can see a bright lion. So they are able to ask the intricate questions. How did it happen? How did it? Then we are able to explain to them that this leopard used to eat the goats or something like that, and people put a snare. And then it was caught, and then one leg was caught. Unfortunately, when it happens like that to the leopard, it cannot be able to hunt or even be able to guard itself. So what happens is, a leopard, when it has caught a prey, it takes it to the top of the tree to eat because of the fear of the hyenas. So it is not able to lay there. So we are able to pick it up and to take it and be part of us. What we are also setting up, Lara, is the Junior Bongo Guardian programs, which will involve the planting of the trees, because these, as you have seen, these animals live on a thicket. And where they live is what we call the water towers. When you clear the water towers, bongos go. And this is what we are trying to recreate, because in one of the things that we are doing in our program, whenever the government came up with the issue of planting the trees that they were harvested for commercial use. So when they are harvested, we now get that land and we plant back the indigenous forests where the bongos can be able to exist. That is one of the things that we are doing. The other thing is also these young men, we use them also as the future investor in conservation from a young age. So when they come into our conservancy, we are able to tell them, okay, it's 1,000 acres, okay, can you be able to go and find a bongo? To track a bongo is very difficult even for ourselves, and that's why the AI is very helpful, because you can be able to pinpoint where it is. For these youngsters, they can spend half a day trying to look up for the bongo, even a day, and they don't see it. But then at the end, because you want him to come tomorrow, the final hour, you tell him, take that to just find the bongo. And then he gets very sharp. Mommy, I've seen the bongo, I want this. And you can tell the story, how the story goes. So to us, that is one of the ways that we are getting the young ones. For the human-wildlife conflict, there is a big now challenges that we are facing in the country, population increasing, and also that now means the diminishing of the land. So with that, we are getting much more requests for animals that have been injured, and or they might be rehabilitated and reintroduced back. The others that will stay back. So from the current 10 acres that we have, we are increasing that to 50 acres at a cost of $2 million. And by doing that, we are increasing the number of the children who will reach there to 100,000 school-going children between the age of 5 and 12, and to become the guardians of that. For me, I find it short-sighted for the companies, whether in Africa or in the world, in February, I see them announcing billions in profits, while neglecting the environment, risking the health of future children, including future generations, including their own children. In Africa, our minerals will expire, but if we conserve our wildlife, it will be there for the future children. Can you see that wildlife to be worth 100? What can wildlife be at 100 years to come? How will it look like? It keeps on going to my mind because we have had so much of what has been lost. Jessica, who was here, said 56 years, how much they have lost in UK.
And in your boyhood alone, what you witnessed.
What in my boyhood, what we have lost. I remember when I was young, the rivers used to drown elephants. Today, an 8-year-old can be able to cross the same river. So I asked myself, what happened? That is a big question, and that is what drives me today to see how can we be able to reverse this?
And it's a very powerful message to everyone who hears your example. Thank you so much, Humphrey, and congratulations in advance for doing all of your announcements.
Thank you.